is up, fam? Welcome back to All Things Dope. And finally, I get the opportunity to sit down with you guys and be able to talk about all the things that happened at New York Comic Con. Two very important things happened at New York Comic Con that, for me, made the whole con. In fact, I really wish I was there. The New York Comic Con of this year was awesome because of the fact that we finally get to see some actual Power Rangers footage. We've gotten a bunch of steals from the movie. We've gotten a bunch of behind the scenes photos. We've gotten a bunch of posters, but we have yet to actually get any type of film. So it was awesome to be able to see that finally, yes, we now in fact have the actual footage in front of us. And I gotta be honest, man, I loved it. I loved every second of it. I wasn't a big fan of and spoiler alerts, if you haven't seen the trailer of the Power Rangers movie, you're probably not even watching this. But spoiler alert, in case you haven't, okay, pause the video because I don't want to be trolled on that I didn't tell you to watch the trailer. So watch the trailer and come back to us. Alright, anyways, so the one thing that I had about the trailer that I didn't like, and it was just one teeny bitty thing, but it felt pretty ginormous to me. I didn't like the fact that they had superpowers. The original Power Rangers never ever had superpowers. They never needed them. I mean, that's the whole reason that they morphed into the Power Ranger suits, is so that they could actually do battle as Power Rangers. Otherwise, what's the whole point of jumping in the power suit? You know what I mean? I get it. I'm sure that they'll explain a little bit more. And I get that this is not exactly just a straight remake, but a reboot. And so there are going to be some different elements. I mean, they want to make money. The original Power Rangers movie didn't make squatch as far as money goes. And the second one, the Turbo movie, don't even get me started on that one. That was a total dud. I get where Lionsgate is coming from. Lionsgate is the team behind the Twilight movies. They are the team behind the Hunger Games movies. So they know what they're doing. They have a pretty good idea of what they want to do when it comes to these movies and making these movies work. So I'm excited to see what they can bring that's new to the Power Rangers movies, and if it can be successful, because they've had so many duds in the background. You know, it's always one thing to sell a good trailer. That's easy to do, right? Selling a good trailer is easy to do. Ask Michael Bay. He always sells great trailers for the Transformers movies, and those movies are terrible. Absolutely terrible. Granted, I liked the last one just a little bit because it had Mark Wahlberg, but then like once they started introducing like aliens and stuff like that, I was like, all right, this is crazy. So we'll see how this breaks down. I really want this movie to be really good. I want there to be more to it. We did get to see a lot of new type of ideas, right? Angel Grove being a little bit more run down. It's not the shining place that it was in the TV show. It's a Breakfast Club / Chronicle vibe. That's what everybody's been talking about. And you're absolutely right. If you've seen the Breakfast Club, that's how they band together. And if you've seen Chronicle, that's kind of how they use their powers. So I can understand why they are putting those two in the same sentence. And I'm okay with that. It's absolutely okay. My one criticism, beyond just the powers that the Rangers now have without their suits, is the fact that it kind of lacked action, but I get where they're coming from. I mean, it's going to take a while. The CGI needs to be crisp. The CGI has to be pristine if they're really going to sell this movie. That's the one thing that they have to get right. Whoever Lionsgate is hired out is going to have a workload for the CGI, because they've made the suits, right? The suits can be practical, but there's an element of mysticism and kind of just out there alien tech to the suits, right? So I think that they're still working on trying to get that perfected. From what we saw in the little teaser trailer, I thought it looked awesome. I think the suits are going to look good when they finally get them on. So I really want this movie to be good. Will I be there day one? Absolutely. But I do hope that we see the Megazord in the trailer. I hope that we are able to see that kind of, you know, just have some super dope elements. The cool thing about Angel Grove, or at least where they based it out of, is that it's actually going to be near like a bay, like a beach. So it's going to be cool. I would love to see kind of like a Pacific Rim type style of action where we have them in the water, maybe fighting there. That would be awesome to be able to see that. But also, imagine this, because there's no talk of any type of Green Ranger in there, nor should there be. This is the original Power Ranger series. Green Ranger didn't come on until later. But if it was me and I was at Lionsgate and I was making this movie, I would absolutely put an end credit scene with the evil green candle and Rita Repulsa putting it on fire, and then, you know, just kind of like just a quick snippet of the evil green candle being able to show us what that's all about. Look, give us the Green Power Ranger. That's what we want to see. Ultimately, I want to see an evil Green Power Ranger just as well. I want to see an evil Green Power Ranger take out the Power Rangers. Absolutely, punk all of them. eventually have to get to the point where they need him on their side, go against Rita, all that great stuff. Possibly even after that, maybe Zed. I'm totally fine with it. I love the Power Rangers, so I really want to see where they're going to go with this franchise. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But the other super big thing that happened was, of course, the John Wick 2 trailer. We finally get to see what's happening, John. Now, the movie's going to pick up about a week after the first one, so it's not like he came out of retirement and then came out of retirement again, because that just feels kind of lame. What's happened is the fact that he's come out of retirement, and people in the Society of Assassins have found out that he is out of retirement, and one of those persons he owes a debt to, and so that person wants to cash their coin in, go ahead and bring John Wick in to whatever drama they got going on in Europe, and that's what's happening here. So we see John, he's getting suited and booted, he's getting ready to go. We see him meet up with his Matrix cast member, Morpheus, aka Larry Fishburne, or Lawrence Fishburne if you want to call him his right name. But we get to see him be able to hook up with him. He is a good guy. He is an ally to John Wick, so I'm excited to see Ruby Rose. She is in this movie as well. She's doing her thing. She is one of the villains, as well as Common is one of the villains in this movie. So interestingly enough, he does seem to be driving around in his Boss 409, which is super dope. I was wondering if he'd get the car back. It looks like he got the car back, which is awesome. So I'm excited to see him do his thing in that. Hopefully we get a little bit more of some racing sequences, maybe where he's got to chase after a bad guy or something like that. That would be insanely dope. But I mean, everything that I've seen from John Wick, they didn't need to put out a trailer. In fact, the original trailer for John Wick, it came out like a month before the movie was released. It was like to a point where they didn't think that Keanu Reeves had enough star power that he could really tackle this movie, and so they put it out in January. And I can tell you, as a guy that goes to movies, January is the crap movies. So any kind of crap movie that the studio feels like is just terrible, they're going to put it out in theaters in January. The only one exception I would say is American Sniper, which that's a totally movie on another level, and it's awesome. But you can look at other movies that come out in January. For instance, this past year, Kung Fu Panda 3 came out in January. That movie was total crap, man. I had high expectations for that movie, and it sucked. It just wasn't very good, especially because the first two were amazing. They waited too long on this, they slept too long, and they promised a movie that it really wasn't. And yeah, that's a whole nother review. But getting back to John Wick 2, man, this movie is going to be incredible. There's so much so that the studio has already announced that there's going to be a John Wick 3 in the works already. They've already announced it. That's awesome. When the movie's doing so good that they're like, here's a check for the next one, keep them going, I'm all for it. Because Keanu Reeves, he's not young. He's definitely not a young man, and this is a young man's game. But if you've seen him do like his training videos, man, you know that's him. You know that's him out there doing his thing. My gosh. This dude does not slow down, and I love it, man. But let's be real. He's going to have to crank these movies out pretty quick anyways. But there's a lot of history in the original John Wick that they could just branch off for the Continental. Just keep making movies about that. Keep making movies where we meet other assassins. He has to go against these cats. I'm down for all of it. So as much John Wick as you can give me, I'm all for it. I'm all in. Take all of my money. Day one night, I will be there. Absolutely, hands down. I plan on watching the movie at least 2 or 3 times in the theaters. IMAX, no IMAX. I don't care. I just need to see this movie as soon as possible, please. And the last thing, guys, that I really want to talk about was the Ninjak trailer, man. I know we don't talk a whole lot about webisodes on the show here, but this is definitely one that's made by the same guys who do Bat in the Sun. They are the superhero beatdowns. You always see them online. Man, they do some of the most incredible action work that I've seen in a long time, and I really want to give Ninjak his due. If you don't know anything about Ninjak, essentially he's like James Bond and a ninja put together, and it's an incredible time. Ninjak is definitely something that you should be reading. If you do read comic books, you absolutely should catch up with Ninjak because he's legit, man. Speaking of Power Rangers earlier, JDF, Jason David Frank, he is also in this Ninjak webisode. He is going to be playing a character known as Bloodshot. Bloodshot is also a very cool character in his own right. So Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe is the name of the webisode series. And from the looks of the original teaser trailer that we got, Man, it looks beautiful. I mean, really, because these guys, they can make it happen on a shoestring budget. And that's what's happening here. They're not getting a big universe together from a studio with studio money behind it. These guys are just dudes who are super into comics and who are really good with cameras. And I mean, you gotta respect their work. I mean, they really are next level guys. I cannot wait until they do get that studio money and start making some incredible things. But for now, Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe webisodes that will be airing here soon. I'll definitely make sure that I post some links up to these trailers because these are awesome trailers. All three of these movies / webisodes that I'm talking about today are something incredible that you should absolutely be keeping up with, absolutely be watching. But other than that, guys, thank you so much. I know I didn't really talk a whole lot about them just because of the fact that I know everybody else has already talked about these things, but I didn't want you guys to think I had forgotten about it. I definitely wanted to give my thoughts, my views on what I felt about all three things, all three of the big things for me personally that's come out for the New York Comic Con. But definitely keep it locked, guys. I will absolutely be posting up more and more videos as I get the chance. Obviously, I've been crazy busy, but I will definitely do my best to get better about it. I do appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, taking a little bit of your time and watching me today. If you really like this video, hit that like button. If you liked it enough, share it to your friends. Put it out there. I definitely appreciate all the love. My name is Chris Vargas, and I'm out. Peace.